The rain fell heavily over a quiet little village. A village where dreams often disappeared before they ever had a chance to grow. There lived a 12-year-old boy named Ethan. Every morning, Ethan sat outside his tiny wooden house and watched the muddy road stretch into the distance. Soon, the road came alive with children wearing clean school uniforms and carrying colorful backpacks. They laughed together as they walked toward school, excited for another day of learning. Ethan watched them every single morning, but he never walked beside them. Not because he didn't want to, because life had taken that opportunity away from him. Years earlier, his father had passed away, leaving Ethan and his mother completely alone. His mother worked from sunrise until sunset, washing clothes and cleaning houses just to earn enough money for food. Her hands were rough from years of hard work. Her back ached every evening. Still, there was never enough money. Not for school, not for new clothes. Sometimes, not even enough for dinner. Before the first rays of sunlight touched the village, Ethan was already awake. While everyone else was sleeping, he quietly walked through empty streets. He searched for plastic bottles, old cans, and pieces of scrap metal. Anything that could be sold. Anything that could help his mother smile. After hours of walking, Ethan finally reached the recycling shop. The owner counted everything and placed a few small coins into Ethan's hand. It was only enough to buy one loaf of bread. Most children would have complained, but Ethan simply smiled, because his mother would have something to eat that night. That alone made him happy. Days passed exactly the same way. Every sunrise brought another long day of hard work. Every sunset reminded Ethan that tomorrow would be no different. Yet he never lost hope. He believed that if he continued doing the right thing, life would eventually reward him. One ordinary afternoon, everything changed. As the golden sun slowly disappeared behind the hills, Ethan noticed an elderly man struggling to push an old bicycle up a steep hill. Every step looked painful. People walked past without stopping. Some glanced at him for a moment. Others pretended not to notice. Nobody offered to help. Ethan didn't hesitate. He dropped his sack and ran toward the old man. "Sir, let me help you," he said with a kind smile. The old man looked surprised. Together, they pushed the heavy bicycle all the way to the top of the hill. By the time they reached the top, both of them were breathing heavily. The old man smiled with gratitude. "Thank you," he said. "Many people walked right past me today, but you were the only one who stopped." Ethan smiled politely. "My mother always tells me that helping someone never makes you poorer." The old man looked at Ethan with admiration. He shook the boy's hand warmly before riding away. Neither of them realized that this simple act of kindness was only the beginning of a life-changing journey. The next morning, Ethan followed his usual routine. He walked slowly along the quiet road, searching for bottles and pieces of scrap metal. As he looked down, something unusual caught his attention. A brown leather wallet was lying on the side of the road. He looked around carefully. There was no one nearby. Slowly, he picked it up. The wallet felt heavy. Curious, Ethan opened it. His eyes widened in shock. Inside were thick bundles of cash. There was more money than he had ever seen in his entire life. His hands began to tremble. For a moment, he imagined a completely different life. This money could buy food for months. His mother could finally get the medicine she needed. He could buy new clothes. He could even go to school like every other child. No one had seen him find the wallet. He could simply keep it and walk away. No one would ever know. Then he noticed an identification card inside the wallet. There was a photograph, a name, and a home address. Someone was desperately looking for this wallet. Someone was probably worried at that very moment. Ethan closed the wallet and took a deep breath. He remembered his mother's words. Doing the right thing is never easy, but it is always worth it. Without another thought, Ethan made his decision. He would return the wallet, no matter how long it took, no matter how difficult it was. With the wallet safely in his hands, Ethan began searching for its rightful owner. For the next several hours, Ethan walked from street to street, asking people if they recognized the man in the photograph. Many people shook their heads. Some pointed him toward another neighborhood. Others wished him good luck. Even though his feet were tired, Ethan refused to give up. Finally, an old shopkeeper looked carefully at the photograph. A smile appeared on his face. "I know this gentleman," he said. "He lives in the large white house near the hill." Ethan thanked the shopkeeper and hurried toward the address. A few minutes later, he stood in front of the biggest house he had ever seen. His heart started beating faster. For a moment, he felt nervous. What if they thought he had stolen the wallet? What if they refused to believe him? He took a deep breath and knocked gently on the front door. After a few moments, the door slowly opened. An elderly woman stood there with worry written across her face. Before she could speak, Ethan held out the wallet. "I believe this belongs to someone in your family," he said politely. The woman's eyes filled with surprise. Just then, footsteps echoed from inside the house. An elderly man walked toward the door. The moment he saw Ethan, he stopped. It was the same man whose bicycle Ethan had helped the day before. The old man carefully opened the wallet. Every dollar was still inside. Nothing was missing. Relief filled his face. He looked at Ethan with gratitude. In that moment, he realized he wasn't looking at an ordinary boy. He was looking at a young man whose honesty was worth more than any amount of money. The old man introduced himself as Mr. Harrison. "I searched everywhere for this wallet," he said. "It contained important documents and money that I needed for my business. I thought I had lost it forever." He looked directly into Ethan's eyes. "Most people would have kept the money, but you chose to return it." Mr. Harrison reached into the wallet and pulled out a thick bundle of cash. "Please accept this as a reward," he said with a grateful smile. Ethan looked at the money for a few seconds. Then he gently shook his head. "I'm sorry, sir," he replied. "I can't accept it. It was never my money. I only returned what already belonged to you." The room became completely silent. Mr. Harrison was deeply moved. In all his years, he had never met a child with such honesty. At that moment, he made a decision. He wanted to know more about Ethan and his family. Before Ethan left, Mr. Harrison smiled and said, "May I visit your home tomorrow?" Ethan nodded politely. "Of course, sir." As Ethan walked back through the village, he had no idea that this simple conversation was about to change his future forever. The following morning, the entire village was surprised to see a luxurious black car stop in front of Ethan's small wooden house. Curious neighbors gathered outside to see what was happening. Mr. Harrison stepped out of the car with a warm smile. Ethan welcomed him and invited him inside. The house was small and simple. The furniture was old. The walls showed signs of many difficult years. But the home was filled with love and respect. Ethan's mother greeted Mr. Harrison politely and offered him a cup of tea. She apologized because she had nothing better to serve. Mr. Harrison smiled kindly. "This is more than enough," he said. After a few minutes of conversation, he looked at Ethan's mother. "I came here today because your son has something that money cannot buy. He has honesty. He has kindness. And he has a heart that deserves every opportunity." Ethan and his mother listened quietly. Then Mr. Harrison made an offer that neither of them expected. "I want to pay for Ethan's education. I will cover his school fees. I will buy his books. I will provide his school uniform. I want him to have the future he truly deserves." For a moment, nobody spoke. Tears filled Ethan's mother's eyes. She had prayed for years that her son would one day go to school. Now, that dream was finally becoming a reality. Ethan looked at his mother. She smiled through her tears and gently held his hand. That day marked the beginning of a brand new chapter in Ethan's life. A few weeks later, Ethan stood in front of a small mirror wearing his very first school uniform. He could hardly believe what he saw. For the first time in his life, he looked just like the other children. His mother gently adjusted his collar and smiled with tears in her eyes. "You look just like your father," she whispered. Ethan hugged her tightly before leaving for school. As he walked through the school gates, his heart was filled with excitement. Everything felt new. The classrooms, the teachers, the books, the playground. For years, he had dreamed about this moment. Now, it had finally become real. His teacher welcomed him warmly and introduced him to the class. Most students smiled politely, but not everyone was kind. Some children noticed Ethan's old shoes. Others laughed quietly at his worn backpack. "There goes the garbage boy," one student whispered. "He doesn't belong here," another replied. Their words hurt, but Ethan remained silent. He remembered something his mother had always told him. Never let someone else's opinion decide your future. Instead of becoming angry, Ethan focused on his studies. He listened carefully to every lesson. He completed every assignment with determination. Every evening, after helping his mother with household chores, he opened his books and studied late into the night. He knew this opportunity was a gift, and he promised himself that he would never waste it. Months passed, and Ethan's hard work began to show. With every exam, his grades improved. Soon, he became one of the brightest students in the entire school. The same classmates who once laughed at him slowly began to respect him. Some even asked him for help with their homework. Ethan never treated them badly. He remembered how painful it felt to be judged. Instead of holding a grudge, he chose kindness. His teachers admired his determination. They often praised him in front of the class. One afternoon, the principal called Ethan into his office. For a moment, Ethan felt nervous. He wondered if he had done something wrong. But as soon as he entered, the principal smiled. "Ethan," he said, "I have some wonderful news. You have earned the highest grades in the entire school. We are proud of you." As a reward, the school awarded Ethan a special scholarship for outstanding academic performance. When Ethan returned home and shared the news, his mother couldn't hold back her tears. She hugged him tightly. "I always knew you could do it," she whispered. That evening, Mr. Harrison also came to congratulate Ethan. He smiled proudly and said, "This is only the beginning. Keep working hard. One day, you will achieve things far greater than you can imagine." Those words stayed in Ethan's heart. From that day forward, he studied with even greater determination. He wasn't chasing success for himself alone. He wanted to give his mother the life she deserved. And he wanted to prove that honesty, kindness, and hard work could change even the poorest child's future. Years went by, and Ethan never stopped working toward his dream. His dedication earned him a full scholarship to one of the country's finest universities. The day he received the acceptance letter, he rushed home with a huge smile on his face. His mother read the letter with trembling hands. Tears filled her eyes. She hugged Ethan tightly. "I always believed in you," she said softly. A few days later, Mr. Harrison came to congratulate him. He smiled proudly. "You've earned this through your honesty and hard work," he said. "Never forget where you came from." At university, life became much more challenging. The classes were difficult. The assignments seemed endless. Many students came from wealthy families. Some had expensive laptops and every resource they needed. Ethan had very little. He worked part-time after classes to pay for his daily expenses. He spent long nights studying in the university library. There were times when he felt exhausted. There were moments when he doubted himself. But every time he wanted to quit, he remembered his mother's sacrifices. He remembered the old bicycle. He remembered the lost wallet. Those memories reminded him why he had started this journey. Little by little, Ethan became one of the top students in his engineering program. His professors admired his discipline. His classmates respected his determination. With every passing year, Ethan moved one step closer to the future he had dreamed about since childhood. After graduating from university, Ethan decided to start his own construction company. He had a big dream. He wanted to build safe and affordable homes for families who needed them the most. But the beginning was far from easy. His office was small. His savings were limited. He had no powerful connections. Many investors refused to support his ideas. Some people laughed at him. Others told him that his dream was impossible. His first project failed. Then another one failed. He lost almost all of his savings. There were nights when Ethan sat alone in his empty office, wondering if everyone had been right. For a moment, he thought about giving up. But then he remembered his mother's tired hands. He remembered every sacrifice she had made. He remembered Mr. Harrison's kindness. And he remembered the promise he had made to himself. He stood up once again. Instead of blaming others, he learned from every mistake. He worked harder than ever before. He improved his plans. He listened carefully to experienced builders. Slowly, people began to notice the quality of his work. His first successful project brought him new clients. Soon, one project became two. Then two became five. Little by little, Ethan's company started growing. For the first time in his life, he realized that failure was never the end. It was simply another step toward success. Over the next few years, Ethan's company became one of the most respected construction businesses in the country. His reputation was built on honesty, quality, and keeping every promise he made. People no longer saw him as the poor boy from a small village. They saw him as a man of integrity. Success brought Ethan wealth, but it never changed his heart. He never forgot the tiny wooden house where he grew up. He never forgot the days when a single loaf of bread was enough for his family. Most importantly, he never forgot the people who believed in him when he had nothing. Instead of spending his fortune on luxury, Ethan chose to help others. He built schools in poor villages where children had never experienced a proper classroom. He created scholarships for students whose parents could not afford an education. He built affordable homes for families who had lost hope of ever owning a safe place to live. Thousands of lives began to change. Parents smiled as their children walked into school for the very first time. Families finally slept peacefully under strong and secure roofs. Communities that once struggled now had new opportunities. Every project Ethan completed reminded him of his own childhood. He knew exactly what it felt like to live without hope. That was why he made a promise. As long as he had the ability to help others, he never would stop. Years later, a young reporter asked Ethan a simple question during an interview. "What is the secret behind your success?" The room became completely silent. Everyone waited for his answer. Ethan smiled gently before speaking. "My success did not begin when I became wealthy. It began the day I chose honesty over temptation. It began the day I helped someone without expecting anything in return. It began with my." The moral of this story is simple. One act of kindness can change a life forever. Stay honest, work hard, never give up on your dreams, and always help others whenever you can. Because the good you do today may become someone's hope tomorrow. Everyone waited for his answer.